Hello, it's Alex, the Bookubus. Today I'm going to be talking about my TBR for Giallo July. If you aren't already familiar with Giallo July, then I would suggest checking out my announcement video. This is a reading and watching event where we are going to immerse ourselves in all kinds of Giallo goodness for the month of July, and I am joined by my friend Kelsi over at Slime and Slashers. I will leave her links below, although I'm sure you're already following her. So anyway, we're going to have an amazing time. I'm already excited about the whole thing. Putting my TBR together and my watch list together has been a lot of fun. One of the things we have added this year is a Discord. We are already chatting about books and movies over there, and I would highly suggest joining if you want to join in on the fun. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the books I'm hoping to read. And Giallo in origin is the term given to the crime and mystery novels that were published in Italy starting in 1929, called Giallo because of the yellow covers. Yeah, you can really join in with whatever you think has a Giallo feel to it. So yeah, there isn't going to be anyone saying you can or can't read or watch a certain thing. So yeah, hopefully I've got some good examples here. Maybe you've read them already, maybe you want to read them. So I have a few novels picked out, including a couple from different countries and different eras. So I think I've got a good variety. I also have a couple of YA and middle grade books, just because I really like adding that kind of thing in to any event, really. And also a comic, which is really exciting. So yeah, I think I've got a good selection. Anyway, first up, I'm going to talk about our group read. We didn't do this last year, but Kelsi and I thought it would be a great idea to have a group read for this year's Giallo July, and we're going to be discussing that over on the Discord. So please join us over there if you want to join in with the group read. I think it's going to be a really fun addition to this year's Giallo July. And yeah, a link to the Discord will be in the description below. Anyway, keeping you in suspense, the pick for our group read of Giallo July 2025 is Daughters of Cruelty by L.J. Doherty. Now, this was a book I heard about during Giallo July last year. The author, I think, commented on one of my Instagram posts and said that he actually had a Giallo themed book coming out, but it wasn't coming out until August. So just missed it for last year's event, but I kept it in mind for this year, and Kelsi and I thought it would be a great choice for a group read. So this, yeah, like I said, just came out last year, and it is a Giallo themed crime novel. So it says, check in, enjoy the view, don't mind the bloodshed. After putting his latest case to bed, private investigator Jack Ivy travels to Sicily for a relaxing change of scenery. But there's no rest to be found when a series of shocking attacks rock the seaside resort of Terme del Paradiso. A brutal psychopath is slaying young women, and Jack may be the only one who can unravel the mystery and put an end to the killer's streak of terror. So yeah, this sounds like a ton of fun and perfect for Giallo July. I'm really excited to read it, and I really hope that you will join in. You can get this, I bought a paperback. I just got this in yesterday, so perfect timing for me to film this video and have it in my hand. I believe it is also available on Kindle Unlimited if you have that. Otherwise, yeah, you can purchase the Kindle version. Yeah, you may be able to track it down other ways, I'm not sure, but those are the places that I have found it to be available. So yeah, Daughters of Cruelty by L.J. Doherty. And this would fit the prompts for yellow on the cover because the title is yellow, and also probably the violent word, like cruelty, could definitely be considered a violent word. Okay, so next up I'll carry on with the other novels that I've got. I picked one that was originally published in 1940. This is The Bride Wore Black by Cornell Woolridge. I got this copy from the library, so yeah, shout out to libraries everywhere. A few of mine have come from the library. And this is, yeah, a classic mystery. Apparently there are a bunch of deaths, and there's always this mysterious woman who seems to be around. It says, nobody knows her identity, where she comes from, or whither she goes. Nor do they know why anyone would be targeting this series of seemingly unrelated persons. But one police detective is convinced that the answers to these questions can save the lives of men who might be next on her wicked list. So yeah, maybe there's a revenge theme here, the woman who is targeting these guys, I don't know. But yeah, it sounds like a fun crime mystery novel. And yeah, I don't check out this era of fiction very often, the 1940s, so I'm curious to give this one a go. And this one would fit the prompt for a colour in the title because it has the colour black in the title. Next up is The Decagon House Murders by Yukito Ayatsuji. It says on the front this is the Japanese cult classic mystery, and this was originally published in 1987. And it says that a university's mystery club decide to take a trip to an island, and one of them turns up dead, so the remaining amateur sleuths need to use all of their murder mystery expertise to get off the island alive. But they're going to get picked off one by one in the meantime until that happens. And yeah, it says this was inspired by And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which I did read many years ago. I don't remember it too well, but I did enjoy it at the time. I did read another Japanese crime novel last year, The Aosawa Murders by Riku Onda, and it ended up being one of my favourite reads of that month. I would definitely recommend it. So yeah, I am curious to give this one a go. And yeah, I think this one would also fit the prompt for violent word in the title because of murders. So yeah, excited to give this one a go. Next up, I have Perfect Days by Rafael Montes. This was originally published in Brazil, and the story is set in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. I believe this is about a medical student who is a bit of a loner and doesn't have any friends, and he ends up meeting this woman at university, and he becomes obsessed with her and ends up kidnapping her and forcing her to go on a road trip with him. So yeah, I only really know the basic premise of this, but I have heard great things about this over the years, and it's supposed to be pretty disturbing. But yeah, I've had a copy of this. This was actually an ex-library copy that I picked up at a library book sale a few years ago, and have been meaning to read it, but just haven't. So I was determined to make sure I pick this up for Giallo July this year. It sounds awesome. And while this one doesn't necessarily fit any specific prompts, I did see there's another edition which has a butterfly on the cover, so you could use that for an animal in the title or on the cover if you really wanted to. I'm just going to read this anyway. It doesn't matter if you don't use the prompts, so anyway. Okay, and last up for the adult novels that I've got here in my stack. Sorry, this is a super shiny cover. This is Diabola by Jennifer Thorne. This just came out last year, and I've heard a lot of good things about this. I think Kelsi really liked this one, so I'm curious to give it a go. This one does deviate a little from the kind of classic crime mystery novels, I guess, but it is set in Italy, so I figured it would work for those vibes alone. And this one is about a family get-together in a villa in a remote part of Italy, and the main character is kind of the black sheep of the family. So I think there are going to be some interesting and uncomfortable family dynamics going on, and yeah, some strange goings on in the villa itself, I believe. I don't really know too much about the plot, so I am looking forward to giving it a go. And again, doesn't fit any prompts, but I just want to read it anyway. Okay, now moving on to some YA and middle grade, because why not? First up, it from 1992 is a Sweet Valley High super thriller. This one is Murder on the Line. May or may not have been written by Francine Pascal. Obviously she had a bunch of ghostwriters. Oh, written by Kate William. There we go. So I actually picked up another Sweet Valley High super thriller for Giallo July last year. This was Deadly Summer, and it was a really good time. So I wanted to pick up another one this year, and yeah, this was one I'd picked up from a thrift store or something a while ago. And it sounds like one of the twins overhears a conversation that sounds like someone is planning a murder. And yeah, things go from there. So hopefully this will be a fun time. And this would fit the prompt for violent word in the title because of murder. I also have When No One Was Looking by Rosemary Wells. This one originally came out in 1980. This is about a girl who is really good at tennis and wants to become a pro in that field. And there's another tennis player who, you know, is her kind of like main competitor. And one day this other girl turns up dead. So was it an accident? Was it murder? We will see. But I did read another Rosemary Wells book, I think a couple of years ago, called The Man in the Woods, and it was really good. So I had a copy of this one anyway, and I figured it does have a little bit of yellow on the cover with the name here and the tennis ball. So totally works for that prompt. And yeah, it just sounds like a fun time. Seems like it might be summery as well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it either way. Okay, just a couple more to go. I have a Trixie Belden book. I've never read any Trixie Belden, but I actually found this in a thrift store recently, like just a couple of weeks ago. There were a handful of them and I decided to only pick one up rather than going too crazy. But I went with this one just because it had bats on the cover, and my reasoning at the time was just because, you know, bats are cool. But then I realised when I was putting my TBR together that it would work for the prompt of an animal in the title or on the cover. So I'm checking that prompt off with this book. This is The Mystery at Bob White Cave. This is written by Catherine Kenny and was originally published in 1963. Like I said, I haven't read any of the Trixie Belden books before, but I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. And I know they were a popular young amateur sleuth type of series, so this should be a fun time. I don't really know what the plot is, other than there's a mystery in a cave and some bats involved, but here we go. I also have a Babysitter's Club book. This is one of the mystery spin-off books. It's called Claudia and the Recipe for Danger by Anne M. Martin. I haven't read any Babysitter's Club books. It's not something I grew up with, but I have a handful of these mystery spin-off ones, and I figured now would be the perfect opportunity to give one a go. And yeah, this one originally came out in 1995, and it would fit for yellow on the cover because one of the kids is in yellow and we've got a yellow star here, so totally works. And this is giving me Great British Bake Off vibes, but with a mystery, so what's not to love? It sounds like there is a baking competition going on at their school, but it seems like a lot of the entrants are being sabotaged in some way, but who is behind the sabotage? Yeah, sounds like it would be a fun time, so I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Okay, last up is a comic series called You'll Do Bad Things by Tyler Boss. And I just found out about this through a recommendation in our Giallo July Discord. So another reason to join. We are chatting Giallo stuff and there are recommendations, and this was one of them. So I had not heard of this before. Apparently it just came out earlier this year, so it is pretty new. But I figured, why not add it on to my already fairly ambitious TBR? Because why the hell not? And I don't know too much about this other than it is Giallo inspired. So I'm just like, I'm in. I don't need to know anything else really. And also the first 3 installments are available on Hoopla if you have that. So I don't know what the reading experience for a comic will be on Hoopla because I've never borrowed any comics through Hoopla before, but I'm willing to give it a go and see how it goes. The cover art looks really awesome, so I'm excited to give this a go. And like I said, this is a pretty ambitious TBR. I might not get to everything, but I'm certainly going to do my best. I definitely do want to get to all of these books. I might even start my Giallo July a little early, depending on which books I end up getting through in the rest of June. There's no reason you can't make an early start on your Giallo July TBR if you would like to. I certainly won't stop you. So that is my TBR for Giallo July. I think I've got a really good variety here and I'm excited about all of them. And I really can't wait to dive in. I am going to be filming my TBW soon, my watch list for Giallo July, so hopefully I'll be sharing that next weekend. I know Kelsi just recently shared hers, So I will leave that linked below, definitely go check that out. And I'm sure she'll be sharing her TBR soon as well. Yeah, like I said, please do join us over on the Discord. It's going to be a really good time over there. We've got the group read, which I am super psyched about, and we're going to be doing some watch parties throughout the month too. And yeah, it's just a place to chat with a community and have a good time. So that is it for now, I think. Yeah, please let me know if you're joining in with Giallo July. I would love to hear about what you're planning on reading. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video.